Let's say Tua is fully healthy. I really love the offensive firepower he has. I think Jalen Waddle opens up a new dimension for them. And I think defensively, there's too much talent in that secondary. They're going to cause a lot of trouble for a team like New England that might not have that competitive advantage at quarterback. So
the AFC East preseason division power rankings is here. We look at a division that was led by Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills last season. Tua Tagovailoa now taking over in Miami. New England, they're trying to figure out, is Cam Newton the guy? Also, Mac Jones, is he going to have some sort of element at some point of the season? And then you have the New York Jets under Robert Saleh now and Zach Wilson. Breaking things down, I'm Cody Roark of Pro Football Network, joined alongside by lead NFL analyst Dalton Miller and Ian Cummings. Gentlemen, let's get into it right here, right now. Really just kind of focusing on our preseason division power rankings as it stands based on some of the offseason moves that these teams have made. Dalton, starting off with you, who's at the top of the division? Who's second place, third place, and fourth place, and why in your own reasoning?
I mean, I think you have to have the Buffalo Bills up at the top. They won the division last year. Their quarterback took a huge step forward, Josh Allen, in his ability to be accurate with the ball. I mean, that was his biggest question mark coming out of Wyoming, playing the quarterback position the way that a professional quarterback has to do it. He did that last year. I think that he is an MVP candidate going into this season. That roster overall is very good defensively. They don't really have a CB2 opposite of Tre'Davious White, but they have two great safeties on the back end in Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde. They have two good linebackers as well. Jerry Hughes rushing the passer on the outside. They have a lot on the defensive side of the ball that you like. Then on the offensive side of the ball, one of the best wide receiving cores in the NFL. We saw what Stefon Diggs was able to do when he was able to finally spread his wings away from Adam Thielen and Kirk Cousins in Minnesota. He was phenomenal last season in his, almost 1,500-yard season that he had. I think that they are the clear favorites in the division. The battle for number 2 in that division is very close. I think New England and Miami are both two huge wild card teams in the AFC. It all comes down to, for Miami, what is Tua Tagovailoa able to do in year 2? Is he going to play better football than he did in year 1? Now, he did not look, in my opinion, fully healthy in year 1. I was an NFL draft analyst before I was doing this. I watched all the throws he made before he got injured and after he got injured, and he was not the same person. If he can get back to being fully healthy, getting back to being that truly elite passer when it comes to his ability to get rid of the ball in the intermediate and short areas of the field with timing and accuracy, I think that that's the second best team in the AFC East because I think they have the advantage at quarterback. The issue is you can never count out the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick. I won't do it. And even with Cam Newton, who looks to, appears to be over the hill, he's a great teammate. All of his teammates really go out of their way to speak highly of him. If he's able to get back and be healthy, I think you can see a good Cam Newton for 1 year as Mac Jones develops as an NFL quarterback. And then at the bottom, man, the team that I really want to highlight is the New York Jets, because Jets fans, you are finally on the upswing of the roller coaster. It is over. Adam Gase, the snake, is gone. Guys, I do not like to be super critical of NFL coaches, but listen, he was horrible. You guys know this. We know this. I cannot remain objective about this. He ruined whatever Sam Darnold could have been in New York. Robert Saleh came in. He's going to be a great leader. He is going to put together a defense that is going to be assignment sound. The offense is going to be a well-run offense that looks similar to something that we have seen in Los Angeles and in San Francisco. It will be fun to watch. You got guys in the NFL draft that really fit that scheme offensively and defensively as well. Listen, you have no corners right now. It's bare. You're not going to be a good football team this year, New York, but you have a lot to look forward to in the future.
How do you see things playing out, Ian, in this division? I mean, I think Dalton made a lot of interesting points regarding the Buffalo Bills. There's some key additions that they've also had this offseason. I think they stay at the top right now until proven otherwise. You make the argument about Miami and Tua, especially with that defense with Brian Flores. I think he's done a great job transforming the culture. I have some storylines I'll talk about in a little bit, but how do you see the division shaking out from first all the way to last?
Yeah, honestly, I think the hierarchy is going to be the same for me too. And I know it's boring because I agreed with Dalton in the last one, but I got to agree this time too. I mean, I think the Buffalo Bills are the top team. They're the team to beat. And, it all precipitates from Josh Allen. He was the top 5 quarterback last year, and I think he's going to do it again this year. I mean, the leaps we've seen him, undertake over his career, and it's really fun to talk about because back when he was coming out, a lot of people were not very bullish on him. They're like, oh, he's not accurate. He can't hit anyone. But he's really developed and really been fun, and it's been a good thing for the NFL. You know, the NFL is better with Josh Allen playing the way he was playing last year. He's a fun guy, and it's a fun offense with a lot of firepower. I think they have the best offensive line in the division. And then on defense, too, they have a lot of talent, too. They have some guys coming up on the edge rushing core. And then they also have linebackers Matt Milano, Tremaine Edmonds, and secondary Tre'Davious White. They got Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, and then also I think Levi Wallace has been pretty good opposite of Tre'Davious White. Not a world beater or anything, but, they can scheme guys up. Sean McDermott has been able to do that, and he's done that in Buffalo. So I think they're the clear number one. The question is who files in behind them. That's either New England or Miami, in my opinion. I want to run with the Jets. I really do. I really love what Robert Saleh is doing so far. Mike LaFleur as his offensive coordinator. I think it's a really fun match. I think that Zach Wilson behind that offensive line, which got a lot better. I mean, getting Mekhi Becton, Elijah Vera Tucker next to him, Morgan Moses, late in free agency. I mean, leaps and bounds better than what they had last year. But I still don't think they're quite good enough on defense. Like Dalton said, the corner room, it's not hyperbole. It's completely bare. So it's a little rough there. But I do think things are looking up for the Jets, and I do think they can surprise a few people, maybe steal a few wins. But back to the Patriots and the Dolphins. I think those are the two teams that you're looking at for maybe a wild card spot behind the Bills, or maybe even filing into second place and maybe challenging the Bills. Best case scenario. I really like what both teams have done. I think the Dolphins getting Jalen Waddle, he was a perfect fit for what they needed in that receiving core. And that was something that we said all throughout the offseason. I mean, you need a guy who can separate, a guy who can get yards after catch. Jalen Waddle is that electric playmaker that Tua really needs. And I think that they got a little bit better on the offensive line too. Robert Hunt moving to guard, I think is going to be very good for them along opposite Solomon Kindley. Liam Eichenberg at tackle, I think he projected well to tackle. I think he's the guy who can be a steady starter for quite a long time. They added a few pieces on defense too. So that secondary is so stacked. It's deep. It's versatile. Very excited to see the different pieces that Brian Flores has. He can mix and match, and we've always known he's very good at doing that. But again, the issue is you can't count out the Patriots. And the Patriots, I don't love the quarterback situation. You have an over-the-hill Cam Newton or Mac Jones, who in my opinion had the least upside of the first-round quarterbacks. You did add a little bit in the receiving core. Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne. You got Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith at tight end, which is I think that's going to be a fun combination, especially from Cam Newton. I think the offensive line is probably the second best or third best offensive line in the division. It's a good offensive line. It's solid, and they got Trent Brown back from the Raiders, so that helps a little bit too. And then defensively, I mean, again, not great all around, but they do have a lot of versatile guys. They added Matt Judon, who's going to add some pass rushing presence. So I really liked that. Honestly, I would probably lean the Dolphins. And I know PFN, we got a lot of Dolphins fans in here, so they're going to be happy to hear that. But I would probably lean the Dolphins just because, let's say Tua is fully healthy. I really love the offensive firepower he has. I think Jalen Waddle opens up a new dimension for them. And I think defensively, there's too much talent in that secondary. They're going to cause a lot of trouble for a team like New England that might not have that competitive advantage at quarterback. So I would lean the Dolphins, but those teams are kind of going to be vying for that second spot.
I like those thoughts there, Ian. For me, I'm going to look at the division. I think that one of the key offseason additions for the Buffalo Bills is going to make them even more exciting to watch is Emmanuel Sanders coming over from the New Orleans Saints. Just imagining Stephon Diggs with his ability against one-on-one coverage when he sees that. Emmanuel Sanders' ability to get open. I mean, that right there, Josh Allen, it's like a quarterback's wet dream. He's excited about being able to have all that. So I think Buffalo's a perennial favorite right now on paper. Really, I think for the number 2 spot, I think it really is a coin flip between New England and Miami at this point. I think Ian, you made some great points about the Patriots defense. They're getting some guys back out of opt-outs. Dante Hightower is going to be back for them. What's the latest with Stephon Gilmore right now? We don't know. He doesn't have a contract yet, so there's a little bit of a question mark there. Miami defensively, adding Jalen Phillips, they've gotten better defensively, and that was their strong point last year where they were so aggressive. They led the league at one point in forcing total takeaways and also scoring defense. So I'm keeping an eye on that, but a lot of the questions about Miami will really be predicated upon can Tua push him to the next level. I agree with Dalton. Being able to watch Miami last year a little bit, and specifically against that Broncos game, I saw Tua, it looked like he was banged up, he was injured, and was second-guessing a lot of things. But this is the year I feel like Brian Flores won't go through the efforts of benching him to put in another guy late in the game like he had with Ryan Fitzpatrick. You have to let Tua take his bumps this year and see if he can take that next step. I'm going to go with the coin flip. I'm going to go with Miami as number 2, New England as number 3, and the New York Jets. It may not be the way that they hope that things are going to go this year in terms of Jets fans, but I think that Robert Saleh will work on developing a culture that has not been there in quite some time. Zach Wilson, the young talent around them, they can build on that, and I think that this is the year for them to do that. I think that we will see some glimpses, some flashes from Zach Wilson, from Robert Saleh's led New York Jets team. And I'm excited to be able to see what more can come with that. But ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comment section down below if you agree or disagree with us. What did we miss, or what is something that you feel like we should have touched on? Let us know in the comment section down below. Don't forget, Pro Football Network Daily Week coming to you live every single day on YouTube at Pro Football Network and on Twitter, PFN365, covering all the news around the NFL. Dalton Miller, myself, Cody Roark, and Ian Cummings every single day.